The footage of crashes, mishaps, and accidents within this video is presented strictly for educational and informational purposes to illustrate crucial lessons in RV safety, responsible road practices, and personal preparedness.
Coming at you fast like a freight train ride. Another crazy, stupid RV design. Smoking sparks, no fear, no mild. Buckle up, it's RVs Gone Wild.
Here we go with episode number 23 of RVs Gone Wild, one of the craziest episodes yet. Let's just jump straight into it. You saw this in the intro. Did you know that in Alaska on the 4th of July, they have a tradition of launching vehicles off of a cliff? I put a link in the description to both of these. Every year I watch the new videos. This year they've got drones. It's an awesome video. Check it out. I love seeing RVs fly. I also like to see them smash into each other. So let's take a look at this one. I have links to these demolition derby videos in the description. Feel free to check them out. Like I said, nothing as cool as watching RVs smash into each other. Speaking of smash, something tells me that this truck camper setup was a little taller than 8 feet.
Missed it by that much.
And this looks like it just blew off. So if you're using a sliding camper, it might be worth adding a few extra straps to make sure that that's not going anywhere. Just a quick reminder to please subscribe to the channel. The one thing you could do to really help me out is just reach down and click the subscribe button. Go ahead and just take a moment to click the button right now while we get on to the next video. And I will say I was impressed with this picture I found of an Airstream crashed, kind of classic sway jackknife situation it looks like. Usually when you see trailers in this condition, they are destroyed. They're just decimated. And the Airstream looks like it's repairable and not totaled.
My old man got this ultimate set of tools. I can fix it. I can fix it.
Who knows what it looks like on the inside? And Sam S sent this to us. We all know how bad certain tires are from certain places in the world, but that's driving on them. This one actually exploded while it was on the spare tire carrier. And Jay Fortune sent this in to us. He wanted to share with us this example of what happens when you leave your tow vehicle with the e-brake on for 100 miles. Hey, just a quick heads up, a plug for my wife. She just started a new YouTube channel called Joe's Root Awakening. So if you're into plants or if you just want to support Mrs. RVing with Joe, go ahead and click on the link in the description, subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe later, but we need to grow that channel. I want to send a special props out and hello to Alex and Pete, who came up to me while I was parked at the Chilliwack Canadian Tire, waiting for my wife to do one of her plant videos inside. They came up to me. They've actually sent photos in for us to use. They're fans of the channel, and it was a real pleasure to meet them. And not only are they fans of our channel, but their custom-made RV was also featured on another RV channel. I'll include a link here to Hike and RV's video, and you can see where they've gone through Alex and Pete's custom build. Check out their van. It's really nice. Thanks again for coming up and saying hi. This goes for everybody. If you see me on the street or on the freeway, flag me down to say hi. I love it. And J&M wanted to share their nice gear. They're big fans of the videos, and they bought their first RV in 2023. They hit the road full time. They made a bunch of upgrades, including adding 410 amp hours of lithium battery power, a 3,000 watt inverter. They've got a 40 amp DC to DC charger and 150 watts of solar. They're going to be adding more in the future. It's a real beautiful rig. I'm a big fan of solar. My trailer, of course, came pre-wired, but it also came pre-wired with pre-problems. And RTC sent this in from Australia. Actually, my RV, my Ember, is sort of built on the Australian model, the off-road model. But there, they have some really rugged off-road trailers or caravans. And here they took them out into the mud. Here's a few clips, but I definitely recommend you watch the full video. The link is in the description.
The key here is to take it slow and have a feel for the van. If you feel like you're going down, you back right off the throttle. It looks like we've made the right call, and the ground is just dry enough for us to navigate around the wetter parts of the track.
If you have any cool pics or links to RVs that you'd like to see on the channel, go ahead and send them to rvingwithjoe@gmail.com. Can't use everyone's, but we try as much as we can to use everybody's submissions. And this comes from Murray C. Murray! He actually is in the film industry as well, or has been in the film industry in the past, just like us. We want to share a few photos of an 80s Vixen 21. Driven by a couple from Ontario that he met at a local burger drive-in. And then he has his own 2007 Jayco Eagle and his 21 First Stormtrooper-esque 2500 HD. On our most recent RV trip, which just ended a few days before filming this, he met on the road Baby and Me Tiny House on Wheels, Bamthou on YouTube. I'm going to include a link to his description. He has a tiny house and does a YouTube channel. We actually ran across him while he was live broadcasting. Check out his channel, and if you're interested, he's actually looking to sell this tiny house and upgrade to a different one. So this is actually available on the market here in Canada. If you're interested, drop a comment on one of his videos and let him know you're interested in it. And Flacker wanted to share with us his Intech Flyer Pursue. It's a fun little box that drop sleeps too. It's a 2002 model. It's SUV and van towable. And the front door has a slide-out kitchen with a 2-burner stove and a 12-volt fridge. And Ryan Z, I know he wanted to share with us his boat camper. He's getting closer to painting it. I think I might have shared this a while back, but I wanted to make sure we got it in there. There you go, Ryan. And is it that time already? Is it time? That's right. It's time for a turducken. You know what turducken is. Turducken is where you take a turkey. Inside the turkey, you put a duck. Inside the duck, you cook a chicken. And it tastes great, but it's a weird way to tow. We're going to see some examples of RV and trailer turducken right now, starting with this one. Found this one on the internet. You got a whole lot of wheels. And I like the way he just dropped that industrial box right there on the back. Why build it when you can just take something prefab and drop it in? And we got another turducken. I'm not sure if I've shown this one before. It looks a little familiar. But on this one, it just seems kind of weird because the car's backwards. And I still get to wonder, how do they get the car off? If they got ramps, it's got to be pretty long ramps for being up that high. Thanks to Gina C for sending us her turducken. This is a pop-up turducken with a golf cart. So a little different flavor. Gina calls this setup White Betty with Black Betty in the back, pulling a Rocky. She lives in Michigan and she actually rides solo. This will be her first adventure with the whole gang. And Gladys, she included a picture of her tiny house travel rig carrying with their side-by-side they put on top of their truck. So it's a side-by-side on top. They've already put 30,000 miles on traveling like this. It looks really cozy and classic. If ever a home on wheels, that looks like one of them. Thanks to Gladys and Ray for sending this one in. And this one is actually Holly Fowler, an off-roader who has this crazy rig called Mischief Maker. If you follow Matt's Off-Road, she's part of that sort of group of friends. I actually had the honor of meeting her when I was at the off-road games last year with Matt's Off-Road and all the rest of those teams, Fab Rats and that. She had a booth set up and she absolutely fell in love with my dog Lizzie. So she sat there and hugged Lizzie for 5 minutes while we talked. Definitely an awesome crawler hauler. And this one was not gonna fly in Queensland. That's down in Australia. Brad S sent us some various pictures. A couple of these he saw on Facebook Marketplace. I guess we got yet another van that's been converted into a trailer. I remember when people used to do this with pickup trucks, but now it seems to be common with vans. And it makes sense. He also spotted this on I-84 outside of Boise. Definitely a turducken. And he also found this one online, which I don't know what hybrid situation we got going on here. Apparently it has over 14 different makes and models cobbled together into one vehicle. Alex G sent this to us. Two really classic rigs rolling along on the road. You got a classic car and classic trailer, and there's a pair of them. Clearly these folks are together. And here we got some single photos, a real classic trailer and truck situation, custom made from many, many years ago. Don't have a lot of information on this one. Jay Fortune says in a different one, it was some sort of trailer on stilts. He said it kind of looked like something that was going to be for NASA. I think this person has just completely covered their rig in that bubble wrap foil stuff to try to beat the heat. It definitely looks like a lunar lander, if you believe that we landed on the moon. I included this story in one of my earlier RVs Gone Wild. This is about the guy who bought the Elvis jet and is converting it into a trailer. Well, apparently he's finished. I'm going to put a link to the article here in the description. Check it out, but apparently he's done. Elvis's old jet is now a RV travel trailer. Not words I thought I'd ever say.
Thank you very much.
Rebecca says that they love our channel. This is a rare size camper that they fit into their 96 Chevy S10, which was very hard to find one that would fit. They took this pic camping with the kids back in early 2000s. She said, when was the last time you saw a cab over RV on an S10? When have I ever seen a cab over on an S10 is the question. Sean P says, a modern day millennial hippie pulls up next to him at Ricketts Glen State Park in Benton, Pennsylvania in this 1977 Toyota camper truck. He said he paid $1,600 for it in Oregon and is driving it across the country to Delaware. Apparently it ran like a champ, but needed a lot of love on the inside. Stephen T wanted to share his classic camper, a 1967 Bedford CA Romany. I have no idea what that is. He's from Swansea, South Wales. I've certainly never seen anything like this. Looks like it's in beautiful condition. Tim M sent this in. It's not his, but he saw this 1979 Airstream in Plush, Oregon a couple months ago. He saw it was for sale for $17,000. So I'm sure if you're interested, you can probably go out there hunting and find it, if it's still available. And we got this from Wanda.
Wanga.
She saw this in Oakhurst, California, out of Vaughn's. That's supermarket in California. And she thought of us right away. Thanks for taking the picture. I love those apocalypse rigs. They can go anywhere, right? Janice has been enjoying the RVs Gone Wild channel, and she wanted to send in their home-built 1928 Dodge Victory 6 hot rod, pulling their home-built teardrop trailer they've enjoyed many trips in, mostly to car shows. Dan and Janice out of Newcastle, Ohio, thank you very much for sending this in. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that is a piece of art you built there. And I love that you actually use it. Jimmy is another YouTuber out there. He has a channel called The Wills on Wheels. I'll include a link in the description. They're full-time RVers. They see lots of crazy things, but he thought this was kind of funny. He took a picture and saved it for us rather than using it on his own YouTube channel. That's a sweet sacrifice. And yeah, I thought of a bunch of funny captions to this. Before I say anything, why don't you put in the comments what is a great caption for these pictures? I was thinking something along the lines of trying to figure out why it's overheating. Where do I put the oil? Maybe if I lift my hood, somebody will pull up and try to help me. Sandra sent this in from Quebec. It says Chevrolet Fleetwood Storm 1997. Please don't make me pronounce French. I'm terrible with French. I moved to Canada, but I moved to Canada from California, where we never speak French. The Adventure de la Famille Storm. I'm so sorry. I'm always embarrassed when I have to pronounce French in this country. You deserve better, Sandra. But thank you very much for sending this in. Sorry I blew all the French pronunciations. And merci. And finally, we've arrived at Corvink. Corvink is a longtime fan of the channel. He sent in lots of stuff. He comes out of the Netherlands, so most of his stuff is the things coming out of Europe and the Netherlands, which is a view we just never get to see here on the west coast of North America. So I really thanks for sending all this in, Corvink. Now, rather than comment, I put in some captions, and I'm just going to play some music, and let's sit back and watch the collection that Cor sent us. Thanks again, Cor. And that's it. That's another edition of RVs Gone Wild number 23. I can't believe I've done 23 of these. How many more am I going to do? I don't know, but it really helps if you can subscribe. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's the number one thing to help me out. And if you want to keep seeing these videos, that's the number one thing you can do to make sure it happens. Thanks again, everyone. And don't forget to check out my wife's channel. I'll put a subscription button in directly below me right here. Help her out. Come on, everyone. Click and subscribe.